Hey guys, Steve Seymour with the Investor Agent Podcast on site with Dustin Seltzer today. And Dustin, tell us what's the address that we're at here today?
We're at 2 Belmar Street, Coatesville, PA.
And is this a property bought to flip or rent, or what are you doing here?
So this one is going to be a flip. So we bought it, we started construction back in December, and we're probably going to, projected market date is June 1st, on or before June 1st. We're about 85% wrapped up now, but the intention was to flip the property.
Nice. And how did you find this deal?
I actually found this one from a wholesaler that I've done deals with previously, and he called me, gave me a number, I came and looked at it and had the offer in that day.
I guess there was like a garage here or something?
Yeah, this was actually, when we bought it, it was in this condition, so I assume it was a garage or a slab at some point.
It'd be good if someone could put like a pole barn back up or a little mini shed or something.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I was thinking about. If we had it in the budget, you can get prefab sheds for probably 15, 20 grand. In this market, in this area, it's desirable. This part of Chester County, it's more blue collar, and that's kind of your end buyer.
Yeah.
So we thought about doing it, but you know, with budgets, we're kind of limited right now.
And do you know what year this was built, approximately?
I think it was 1900-ish.
That's what public record says.
Public record says 1900.
You never know if that's accurate or not.
Yeah, nothing before 1900 is.
You got the slate
accurate.
roof.
We have a slate roof. We had some repairs up there that was done by the previous owner. The exterior, which was one of the biggest challenges in this one, the exterior is solid stone, but it's made from Natco bricks from Ohio. So we saw some of the encryption on some of the bricks in there. Apparently it's a brick that can never burn down, so
fireproof.
I've
never heard of them.
I've never heard of it. Here's an example.
It looked like terracotta.
Kind of like terracotta.
Okay. So that's the whole exterior is like that's the structure
it's
with
stone,
some little stucco on the outside.
Stucco, concrete. There's about 4 layers of that stuff before you get inside the house. So
okay.
Super well insulated. It's cool in there now. So.
And what's the square footage?
It's roughly 1,900 square feet.
1,900.
Yeah.
And what is it gonna have? Like 4 bedrooms or?
4 bed, 1.5 bath. We added 1 bath in there. We felt that with the 4-bedroom house,
yeah,
probably
it's nice
need
to have
more
that
than 1
extra
bath.
half bath for sure.
And we added one on the first floor, which I'll show you.
All right, let's go and check it out. All right, so you got a 15-yard dumpster here? It looks like.
It's a big dumpster.
Big
one
dumpster.
of them. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure.
How many dumpsters do you have to take out of here?
I think this is our 5th dumpster so far.
And what do you typically budget for demo and clean out on something this size? I guess it depends on how much.
Depends on how much is in there. This one was rough. We had about, I think, 4 or 5 dumpsters before we even started doing construction, which is it's one of the other challenges to buying these places. When you're looking at stuff sight unseen, I mean, you can't see the baseboards, you can't see a lot of what's going on with the house, the flooring. So it's a huge risk, but you know, you just got to make an educated decision.
Did you find anything cool in here?
I did. We found some baseball cards. We found a Busta Rhymes cassette tape on there. We found some Star Trek, Barbie and Ken. Found all types of stuff in here, man.
What is the craziest shit you've ever seen with all the demo and rehab?
Dude. I think some of the most interesting stuff is typically like collectibles. And you notice, especially when you're cleaning these out and you're working with your guys, it takes a lot longer because you're picking up every baseball card. You start sorting through the packs. You got a Ken Griffey Jr. card here. You got a Barry Bonds card. You got collectibles, and go right to eBay or Amazon, or your guys that are working with you looking at that stuff. So that can get pretty challenging during the cleanouts because
it's hard to know whether it's worth the time to go through versus just have the clean out guys. I mean, I tend to just be like, get rid of it, but who knows what I've thrown out. Right?
Well, one of the more interesting things we found in this house was a bunch of old coins. So the guy was a coin collector.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely worth having a look at.
We found some really old ones, and then me and Chris, the electrician, we took a trip to Baltimore to the coin convention just to find out they were all fake. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
so it was not worth the time.
Well, we
On
won
that
a little
one.
bit on roulette, so we
Right.
made time of it. So we're still in the process of construction. Please keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, you said 80%. You know, you're almost to the finish line.
Yeah, probably more 60, but.
So.
So with this one, come on, Doug, get in. Come
You're
on.
good. You're fine.
We got part of the crew here.
Yeah.
We got the kitchen here.
Yeah.
New cabinets.
Yeah, brand new cabinets. We get them from Lancaster. We got the farmhouse sink, which we added.
I like the farmhouse sinks. It's always a nice touch. People like that.
We had, with these older houses, you always run into some weird stuff. Like you notice the pantry is kind of undersized.
Yeah.
Because the way that they made these houses back in the day,
The cabinets they weren't. Yeah.
everything was smaller. So we had to.
Yeah, it's not a huge kitchen, but it's nice. It's kind of open to this area over here.
Yeah, and it's going to have stainless steel. The quartz goes in Saturday. Backsplash will go in probably Sunday, Monday. Yeah, we're ready to roll. It's just
So this is
finishing
the
touches.
dining room, and then this is where you added the powder room off the dining room here.
Yeah, so we had to add a powder room again because it's 4 bedrooms. We thought about enclosing the nook here, but I think this would be a great place also to put a small table.
Yeah.
So we framed this out and then just added a powder room. One of the things that we did was we put the smaller vanity and smaller toilet in there. It's a small it's a small area, but
Yeah,
you want to maximize the space by
Right.
putting
I like the vanity though. It's so nice.
it's a Home Depot special right there.
What's it, like 12 inches deep? 15?
Yeah, I believe so. 13. Watch behind your head.
And then in the living room here, it's a working fireplace or?
It's a fireplace. We
Yeah,
haven't
you
done
don't
any
know.
inspection of it.
I got you.
Bought it as is. So
But it is a wood burning fireplace, yeah.
wood burning fireplace. We have it covered up due to the paint. We have the appliances here.
And these are what engineered hardwood.
So the flooring we did put more expensive wood in here. It's engineered hardwood.
Yeah, it's not laminate. It's nice.
It's not laminate. It's not LVP. So more flip grade versus rental grade. With rentals you go LVP all the time. With us, we vary depending on the price point of the flip as well. So you want to match your clientele.
Yeah. Is this a glue down, nail down?
It's a snap together. It's actually
so it's a floating floor.
it's a floating floor. One unique thing about this floor is all the pieces are different sizes.
Okay.
So they're not cut
Right.
like that. You can see it adds some character to the home when you're matching this
Yeah.
old farmhouse style home. They're all different sizes, different lengths.
Yeah, I like this floor a lot. Nice color. And you did all new windows.
All new windows throughout, capping. I think it ended up being about 30 some windows in this house.
So what are some, I know you've done a lot of renovations, and what are some of the major challenges you run into on one, because this is an old building, and I always
Yes.
tell brand new flippers, I'm like, don't get into the old buildings because they're much more challenging.
Super challenging.
What are some of the main things that you've run into
Um,
on this one or any old building?
This one was more of the exterior, that Natco brick that I've never ran into.
Yeah.
So that was a big challenge because the electric was all knob and tube. We had to run all new electric throughout the house. So when you're running electric through stone, you can imagine it's going to cost a lot more, take a lot more time. That was one of the biggest things. The house, when you're in older homes too, it's a lot of times not level. So we had to shave down, we had to put a lot of floor leveler, we had to do a lot to make this floor connect and run throughout the entire place.
And you got what, 8-inch baseboards here with, quarter round and a base cap on
Yep.
top. So if you got to patch that in, that all adds up.
Exactly.
What about the plumbing? Was it cast iron? What was the plumbing in here?
Plumbing was, it was cast iron, copper, you name it, it was
Yeah, you
everything.
get into an old building, it could have 4 or 5 different types of plumbing in it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like something, Uncle Jim did on the weekend, and there were shark bites throughout. So we rewired everything. Replumbed everything. We can show you in the basement.
All new
that.
PVC and what do you do? You
We
PEX,
did
PEX for the
PEX,
drains, or
yep.
PEX for the water
PEX
lines.
and PVC. Yeah, just watch your step here, Sean. There's some paint down here,
Yeah.
but you can see we ran all new PEX
that's
plumbing
nice.
throughout.
Do you typically do the PEX manifold?
This is the first time we've done it. Typically, we have copper, and it's in good condition. It was mostly PEX, and it was just a nightmare.
The PEX manifold's nice because each, if it's going to the powder room, you got an individual shut off for each
Right.
one.
Oh, sorry,
Watch your head there.
That's one of the other issues with these older homes is low ceilings.
I mean, the basement's actually not too bad.
It's not.
You know, we're both over 6 feet, and you know, can stand down here no problem. So, you got oil heat.
Yeah, watch your head
and the,
here.
And the boiler's not. It doesn't look too old.
Oil heat. We got a service. Works fine. It's oil and it works. And it's, I guess the one thing that is more desirable versus oil hot air is it's oil radiator.
Yeah.
So it's more cost efficient. Your hot water heater is also electric, so it's not running off the oil, which helps.
Yeah, it's funny how people don't realize the radiators hold so much good residual heat.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a nice heat.
Right here.
You know, in the winter, it's really nice and warm and steady.
So
New panel.
Yeah, brand new
I recognize
panel.
this handwriting here.
Yep, it's Mr. Hagen right there. Yeah, shout out to Chris. That's my electrician. He does all our flips. He does flips for some other agents in our office as well. So ran brand new electric panel, new plumbing, all new plumbing throughout the entire home as well. So we didn't go cheap on anything here.
Plumbing looks great too.
Yeah.
All right, should we head upstairs?
Yeah.
Nice size full bath.
Yeah.
Tile. These are 12 by 24s, but I like the vertical look. It almost looks like, you know, one sheet.
Well, we made them 12 by 24. I think they're
bigger.
we cut them in half.
Oh yeah, they're bigger than 12 by
Yeah.
24. That's nice. It's a
And
nice
then
look.
we kept the old toilet here. This is a porcelain, or it might be
old
cast iron. I think it's porcelain actually.
Just reglazed it.
Yeah, we reglazed the tub because it matches the character of the home.
It's better than what you would buy today at Home Depot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So is this the master bedroom?
Yeah, this is the main bedroom. We don't have a bathroom. We considered putting one in the closet here, and maybe extending, framing in the closet over there, putting a full bath. There's enough room, but I just thought be more value in adding a first floor if you had company over.
Yeah, it's a nice
So-
size closet too. People
Yeah.
like that.
Then we did a lot of patching throughout. We still have some to do, obviously, but put ceiling fans in every bedroom, all new windows throughout, no electric.
The second bedroom's, I guess, the temporary cabinet shop as they're building some vanities.
You got the Seltzer crew in here, putting the vanity together.
Bedroom 3.
Yeah, so this is bedroom 3. Again, one of the cool things about this house is the radiators add character to the house. You have all the older doors, older fixtures, older baseboard. The trim is older. It's just a lot of character.
So that's one of the things that, how do you typically decide whether you're going to keep all the old trim?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, when you get into a flip and you start tearing stuff apart, a lot of people wonder, should I do the doors? Should I do the trim? What's your thought process when you're making that decision?
Really just, you want to match who your end buyer is and match the house. So in a house like this built in 1900s, you want to keep the older character here. If we're doing a 1984 flip or, you know, something was built in the 80s, 90s, just get the new trim, new doors, clear everything.
And
yeah, solid wood.
It's a little different than the cardboard stuff that you buy today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess, is this just like a little bonus room on the side?
Yeah, so this is a sunroom. It does not have heat. We still have to level out the floor here. We're going to put that floor throughout the entire house. One of the things we kept to the original house was we had the casement windows. So when you're in the sunroom, it just adds more value than a standard, bay window. I feel like it fits well with the home. I had a fan out here for the summer. I mean, it's 80 degrees out now, but it's pretty cool in here.
Right.
So
we'll head upstairs.
Yeah. So up here, this is considered the fourth bedroom. We have a closet and we have an egress. So
it's actually a nice size room.
Yeah, has its own heat as well, own radiator heat. We're just going to carpet up here. It's easier, more cost efficient for the third floor. And there actually is storage back here as well. So
That's nice to have, with the old basements if you have attic storage.
Oh, it's a huge selling point for sure.
Yeah.
So this could be a kid's room, it could be a playroom, it could be
a ton of storage.
But definitely adds value. And we ran recessed lights throughout. Again, that was one of the biggest challenges, was running the wires through these older homes. It's no joke.
So Dustin, how long have you been doing renovations on houses for?
That's a good question. I guess 2016 I bought my first house, and that was, you can close that.
You're good.
2016 I bought my first house, we rehabbed everything, but then I got into actual flipping probably 2020 or so.
And when you came into this, like, how did you go about budgeting it? Because you know what you're buying it for. You can research what you're going to sell it for, but the big question is how much you're going to put into it, and that's always something that's really hard for, especially new investors, but even an experienced investor on a project like this. How did you come up with it? Are you kind of like more of a ballpark guy initially on your offer and then back into it, or are you a spreadsheet, detailed each item? What's your process?
Yeah, for me, I mean, in today's market, finding a deal is the hardest thing. So if you're going in with the spreadsheet, you need to run it and take a couple of days, you're probably going to lose a deal. Like, you need to be able to think fast. I think I was the first investor this guy called on this. And that was big because I built a relationship with them over the years, and they know that if you bring me something good, I'll close on it. When I get in, I usually just start in the basement, look at major mechanicals, electric, plumbing. I have an idea of what it costs to rewire a home, what it costs for a heater, AC if you're going to put it in. So that's what I start with, the big mechanicals. Windows, you have a budget on price per window. That's removing, capping.
Count all the windows from outside.
Get a rough idea, take videos when I'm in there if possible. Sometimes it's tough. So that's what I start with. Those are the major ticket items. And then flooring, I mean, you're looking price per square foot typically. So you can get decent floor for around $3. Installation, it varies depending on if you're using subs, if you're doing it yourself. But I can pretty much analyze a deal within like 15, 20 minutes, know what the rehab's going to be.
Right.
Add 10% on that, and I'm typically pretty close to that number.
Usually always goes a little over, takes a little longer.
But
but sometimes, you end up improving it more than what you had anticipated on the sale price. So. And
I mean, that's with me. I've been fortunate that it's taken longer. We probably went over budget, but they've typically sold over asking too. So you're getting that return in the back end.
Yeah, as long as you're conservative on the exit resale price.
Which I am. And this is probably the most stressful part.
Do you have an idea of what you're going to end up putting into this, a range?
It's going to be over 100 for this one.
Over 100. Yeah. And you said the square footage was about 1,800?
About 1,900 square feet.
19. Okay, so 2,000 square feet.
So it's going to be over
about $50 a square foot, which is pretty good for the level of renovation that you did on this.
Yeah.
Like electrical, plumbing, windows, some exterior work. Kitchen, bathroom.
The one thing I will say is I add my carrying costs in there too. I don't know how other investors do that or look at it, and that's probably the biggest challenge in this one. Why we're over budget. I bought it. We were doing other projects. I carried it for a couple months and didn't start till beginning of this year, pretty much. So you have extra carrying costs when
which eats into your profit.
Correct. So
and your typical carrying cost is taxes, insurance, utilities. But the biggest one's typically interest if you're using like a hard money loan, or how did you go about financing this one?
So this one I purchased with cash from a HELOC on a property a different property that I own. So
you leveraged the equity in that with a HELOC, rolled it into this one.
Yep. And that's typically how I finance the flips. I'm fortunate that I can pull from that and buy something cash and get started right away. So it makes you look like a stronger buyer as well for an investor.
I mean, you did a hell of a job. Looks like it should sell quick, so.
Yeah, let's hope so, man. This adds a ton of value, I think. Again, back to the age of the home. I mean, you have some of the rounded doorways, and there was two inside that we did. Really cool. Yeah, so we had an arch there. There was a door on the side here, which we knocked out, and we exposed the other arch.
It's a really unique house.
Super unique, yeah.
And it's got a great lot, and you're up on this huge hill. Yeah. When you bought this initially, I'm sure you researched the comps in the area. I know this was like a longer rehab, right? So things kind of changed from when you bought it till now. How do you typically, account for that, and what are you looking at for comps in this neighborhood for this now?
So with this one, when I initially bought it, the ARV was 350-ish. I think we're still in that ballpark. I think a ton of the value is, sorry, there's bugs. I think a ton of the value is this style of the home, which you really can't get elsewhere.
Yeah, it's unique. And the lot.
The lot is
and then
beautiful.
Yeah.
You're at the top of the hill. It's public sewer, which is huge in these areas, and it's well. So super desirable for someone to be in this area. When you look at comps in the Coatesville School District, a single family under 400 that has this type of character, it kind of doesn't exist right now. The closer you get to 400, you typically have the nowhere homes. You're in HOA communities, which this one doesn't have. So I think we're going to be between that 350, 375 price point still. The market, as you know, the market has shifted from the time that I bought it to right now. It's changed a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Any other tips for people getting into flipping or renovations? What helped you get started, and any tips to get anyone off their couch? Because the biggest thing is getting in action, right? Getting on site and doing it.
Yeah, I would say if I were to do it over, I'd probably partner with someone for the first one to see where to start. I know my first flip, it was like 1,000 square foot home built in 1960s. It took me like 9 months because I didn't know what I was.
Curve.
Yeah, it's a huge learning curve. So if you partner with someone on the first one, there's benefit to that. You're not going to make as much profit, but you're going to get exposed to the actual process, leveraging everything that you have to leverage, communicating with different contractors, getting permits. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. And you can really, if you have someone to mentor you or walk you through that, you're going to save yourself a lot of time and probably a lot of money too, because it's going to get done quicker, you're going to learn quicker.
It gives you a sense of confidence too,
yeah.
Right? Like a lot of this is just the confidence to do it.
Oh yeah, it's huge, man.
I mean, you definitely want to know your numbers, you want to know your rehab, but that's a great advice. That's really great advice. So find someone that's already doing it, someone like Dustin that's been there. Can't put a price tag on experience, real world experience. All right, well, I appreciate you taking the time to walk us through, and hope you guys learned something valuable. Reach out in the comments, reach out to Dustin if you have any deals, or bring him some properties in the Coatesville, Chester County area. Where do you buy? You buy Chester County mostly, right?
Mostly Chester County, Coatesville, Downingtown. I just picked up one in Downingtown. Phoenixville,
Chester Springs, right?
Chester Springs. We just did a rehab over there. So we're really anywhere in Chester County, but if you bring a deal, if you're a realtor, bring a deal, you can get your commission, represent me as a buyer, even though I'm an agent. Or if you want to bring me something, JV, we're open to that too. It's whatever makes sense.
Well, thanks for your attention, watching The Investor Agent on site.